Hey everyone, settle in because this story is going to take you on an emotional journey you won't soon forget. It's one of those family secrets that started with innocent moments but transformed everything in ways I never could have predicted. Before I unfold the rest of this night, take a second to hit like and subscribe. It really does help more than you know. And if you're drawn into stories like this, I want you here for every one of them. Also tell me in the comments, where are you watching from? Are you in a small town where the evenings fall slow and gentle, or in a city where the lights never quite go dark? Hi, I'm Sophie, a young woman in my early 20s when this all began. I have long, wavy auburn hair and deep hazel eyes that my mother always said gave me a mysterious look. Life had thrown me some unexpected challenges early on. My father walked away when I was barely 5 years old, and Mom raised me alone for years, working double shifts at the hospital while somehow still making time for bedtime stories and school plays. We were close, more like sisters than mother and daughter sometimes. Then, when I was 19, she met Thomas, a gentle man with steady hands from his work as an auto technician. He had a teenage son from his previous marriage named Liam, who was 17 at the time. They married quickly, 6 months of dating before the ceremony, and suddenly we were a blended family living in a modest 3-bedroom house on the outskirts of Portland. At first, everything felt awkward and unfamiliar. Liam was tall for his age, with dark curly hair like his father's and these piercing gray eyes that seemed to read your thoughts. He was reserved, more comfortable with his sketchbooks and mountain biking than small talk. I was starting community college, studying illustration, full of restless energy and creative dreams. We shared the house, me in my room decorated with vintage movie posters and stacks of sketch pads, him in his space filled with art supplies and cycling gear. Mom and Thomas were blissfully happy, always sharing laughs and making elaborate family dinners a weekly tradition. But Liam and we were polite strangers at best. Morning, pass the butter, that kind of surface-level interaction. As months passed, though, living under the same roof brought us closer in subtle ways. We'd cross paths in the kitchen during late-night snack raids, chatting briefly about classes or new films. He had this sharp, dry wit that caught me off guard and made me laugh once I learned to recognize it. I began noticing things about him, how he'd help his dad repair the fence without being asked, or how he'd leave small charcoal sketches on the refrigerator, whimsical drawings that revealed hidden artistic talent. He wasn't my brother by blood, but the label stuck because of our parents. Still, somewhere beneath the surface, I started feeling this magnetic pull, like he was someone I desperately wanted to understand more deeply. By the time I was 23 and he was 21, we'd established a comfortable rhythm. I was finishing my degree while working part-time at a local bookstore, going out with friends on weekends. Liam was enrolled in a design program at the community college, still quiet but gradually opening up. We'd watch films together when our parents went out, sharing popcorn and laughing at the same moments. Mom and Thomas encouraged our bond. "So glad you two are becoming like real siblings," they'd say. But for me it wasn't sibling-like at all. I caught myself studying his smile, wondering why he never seemed to see me as anything more than his stepsister. He dated a few girls briefly, but nothing lasted. I had casual relationships too, yet my thoughts kept drifting back to him. One Friday night, everything changed forever. I'd gone out with friends to a bar in the Pearl District. Dancing, music pulsing through my body, a few cocktails loosening my inhibitions. I wasn't drunk, but pleasantly buzzed enough that the world felt soft and possibilities seemed endless. I took a rideshare home around 1 a.m. The house was dark, except for a faint glow from Liam's room. Mom and Thomas had gone to bed early. They had early shifts on Saturdays. I crept inside quietly, kicked off my sandals, and headed toward my room. But loneliness crashed over me that night like a wave. My friends had all paired off with someone, and I felt painfully alone. In my room, I peeled off my bar outfit, a fitted dress and strappy heels, feeling liberated. I slipped into my worn cotton robe but didn't tie it securely, my mind still humming from the drinks. Impulse overtook reason. Liam's room was down the hallway, door slightly ajar, phone screen illuminating the darkness. I walked over and knocked softly. "Hey, you awake?" I whispered. "Yeah, come in." His voice was relaxed, unconcerned. I pushed the door open. He was in bed, propped against pillows, scrolling through his phone. The room was lit by a small lamp, posters of classic albums on the walls, his desk cluttered with art supplies and half-finished sketches. He looked up, surprised but not irritated. "How was your night out?" "Good." I stepped inside, closing the door behind me. "Kind of, but lonely now. Can I hang for a bit?" My voice was slightly slurred but sincere. He nodded, patting the edge of his bed. "Sure." My heart hammered as I approached the robe hanging loose. As I sat down, it shifted open slightly, but I didn't adjust it. He noticed, his eyes widening momentarily, but said nothing. We talked about the bar, his evening spent drawing. Laughter came easily, the alcohol dissolving my usual reserve. Then, emboldened by liquid courage, I said, "Scoot over. I want to lie down." He complied, curiosity flickering across his face. I stood, let the robe fall completely, my bare form exposed in the warm lamplight, and quickly slid under the covers beside him. He froze, breath catching. "Sophie, what?" His voice was shocked but not angry. I nestled close, my body pressing against his. "Just want to be with you. Is that okay?" Silence stretched between us. Then he relaxed slightly. "Yeah, okay." His arm wrapped around me tentatively. Warmth surrounded us. The closeness was comforting and electrifying all at once. We lay there talking in hushed voices, bodies intertwined in that intimate space. The moment was tender, overflowing with unspoken emotions, leading to a profound connection that felt both natural and startling. Morning light woke me gently. He was still asleep, his arm draped over me. I slipped out quietly, gathered my robe, and returned to my room, heart racing. What had I done? In the days following that night in Liam's room, the house felt different, charged with invisible electricity. Mornings at breakfast, Mom and Thomas chatting about their shifts, Liam and I passing the cereal bowl. Everything appeared normal on the surface, but our eyes would meet for a fraction longer than necessary. A small smile exchanged, a secret humming between us. I replayed that night constantly in my mind. The warmth beneath the covers, the way he held me close, the tenderness that felt so achingly right in the moment. Guilt flickered at the edges because of our parents, because of the family we'd built, but excitement drowned it out. He was the same Liam, quiet and artistic, but now I saw him through entirely new eyes, and from his lingering glances he saw me differently too. The first week was awkward. We avoided being alone together, sticking to group activities. Family movie nights where I'd sit on the couch with Mom while he occupied the recliner. But tension built like pressure before a storm. One afternoon, with our parents out grocery shopping, I knocked on his door. "Hey, can I come in?" He nodded, removing his headphones mid-game. We talked about that night, how it felt unexpected yet right. He admitted he'd harbored feelings for me for a while but held back because of family complications. Relief flooded through me. I wasn't alone in this. From then on, stolen moments became our ritual. Late nights when our parents slept soundly, I'd slip into his room or he'd come to mine. Door closed softly. Under the covers we'd whisper about dreams, fears, daily life. The closeness was comforting, bodies pressed together in warmth, sharing tenderness that deepened our bond. Always quiet, always careful not to wake anyone. Mornings meant returning to our normal, sibling act. On weekends when our parents worked or ran errands, the house stood empty in hours. We'd lounge in the living room watching documentaries. He'd sketch while I worked on my own drawings. Conversations flowed naturally, art, techniques, favorite musicians, future aspirations. Touches started casual, a hand on an arm, a head resting on a shoulder, then more intentional, cuddling on the couch. Warmth building into intimate embraces that left us breathless yet profoundly connected. Liam opened up more, sharing sketches he'd kept hidden, beautiful landscapes, thoughtful portraits. One looked unmistakably like me. I showed him my portfolio, vulnerable about harsh critiques I'd received. He encouraged me, said my work had soul, made me feel genuinely seen in a new way. One evening, with our parents at a dinner party with friends, we cooked together. Pasta from scratch, sauce simmering, laughing at our kitchen disasters. We ate at the table, feet brushing beneath it. After dishes, soft music playing. We slow danced in the kitchen, arms wrapped around each other, swaying. The moment was sweet, leading to the couch where closeness deepened again, tender and full of unspoken affection. Guilt arrived in waves. Mom so happy with Thomas. Family stability finally achieved. What if this destroyed everything? But the pull was too powerful. Liam said the same. Love his dad. Adore your mom, but feelings for you are real. Summer brought more freedom. Our parents took a vacation week alone, their first real trip since marrying. The house was ours for hours each day. Lazy mornings sleeping in. Breakfast in bed for each other. Movie marathons stretched across afternoons. Nights exploring our connection. Warmth beneath sheets, whispers until dawn. Our bond grew profound, like discovering a soulmate in the most unexpected place. When routine returned, we became careful again. But habits were established. Nights together whenever possible. Texts during daylight hours with hearts and inside jokes. Fall arrived, my graduation approaching. Liam was proud, helping me study. Emotions intensified, fear of change if I moved away. Then one close call nearly exposed everything. The summer after my graduation passed in a haze of secret intimacy with Liam. I started my first full-time position at a design agency downtown, commuting by light rail, learning professional life's ropes. Liam was deep in his graphic design program, projects accumulating, but we carved out time for each other whenever possible. Our parents were overjoyed. Mom bragged about my job to everyone at the hospital. Thomas clapped Liam on the back for his excellent grades. Family dinners remained regular, everyone around the table sharing their days. On the surface, the perfect blended family. Underneath, Liam and I exchanged knowing glances, feet brushing beneath the table, hearts racing from the constant risk. Our moments together grew more frequent, more meaningful. Weeknights, our parents asleep by 10, I'd tiptoe to his room or he'd come to mine. Door locked softly. Beneath covers we whispered plans and dreams. The closeness was warm, comforting, full of tenderness that made me feel truly understood. We'd talk for hours about artistic inspirations, favorite authors, what we wanted from life. He sketched me sometimes, quick lines capturing my expression. I'd trace patterns on his back, feeling his breath steady and slow. Weekends when our parents had date nights or errands, the house stood empty longer. We'd cook elaborate meals, attempting recipes from cooking sites, laughing at failures like burnt risotto. We'd eat on the couch, legs tangled, watching shows, but mostly talking. Those times our connection deepened, sharing vulnerabilities, supporting each other through stresses, job frustrations for me, academic pressure for him. It felt like partnership in everything. But guilt never fully disappeared. Mom so happy, planning future family vacations, talking about grandchildren someday. Thomas treating me like his own daughter, teaching me to change oil. How could I betray that trust? Liam felt it too. Late nights he'd hold me tighter, whispering we had to be careful. Don't want to hurt them, he'd say. But stopping seemed impossible. The pull too strong. Then came the family trip that nearly unraveled us. Mom surprised everyone for Thomas's birthday. A long weekend at a cabin in the Cascade Mountains. Family bonding time, she announced excitedly. We packed the SUV with coolers, board games, hiking equipment. The drive up winding forest road singing old songs, stopping for photos at scenic overlooks. The cabin was cozy, wooden beams, stone fireplace. A loft with extra beds, 2 bedrooms downstairs for our parents and us. Kids sharing the loft with twin beds pushed together for space. First day hiking through towering pines, waterfalls crashing nearby, group photos, laughter, packed lunches eaten on flat rocks. Liam and I lagged behind sometimes, hands brushing, quick smiles exchanged. Our parents walked ahead, oblivious. Evenings by the fire, s'mores, stories from our parents about early dating days. Liam and I on the couch, blanket shared, feet touching. Tension electric, wanting more but unable to act. Night one, loft dark, our parents snoring below. Liam whispered my name. I slipped to his bed beneath the covers. Closeness quiet, intense in the stillness. Warmth shared, tenderness whispered. Heart pounding from the wrist, creaky floors, thin walls. The moment was profound, but fear mingled with desire. Morning we acted normal, pancakes, coffee. But a close call came when Mom came up for extra blankets. We jumped apart just in time. Day 2, boating on the lake. Rented pontoon, fishing, swimming, sunbathing on deck. Liam and I in the water, away from the boat, trading, talking low. Hands held beneath the surface, a stolen moment. Night 2, storm rolled in. Thunder shaking the cabin, rain hammering the roof. Our parents went to bed early. In the loft, lightning flashes illuminated everything. Liam pulled me close during thunderclaps, comforting closeness again. Emotions high from the storm and our secrecy. But morning 3 brought near disaster. Mom up early preparing breakfast. I'd overslept in Liam's bed. Kids' food's ready. Panic. I slipped back to my bed quickly, but blankets were tangled. Thomas came up for something, saw the rumpled sheets, raised an eyebrow but said nothing. The drive home was tense for us, normal chatter for our parents, but a seed had been planted. Were we getting careless? Back home, caution doubled, but feelings grew stronger, harder to contain. Then one family dinner changed everything. Part 4, the confession looms. After the cabin trip, Liam and I were more careful than ever. The close calls, rumpled sheets, lingering looks made us paranoid. We limited alone time to absolute minimum. Quick hugs when our parents weren't watching, texts with coded messages like, thinking of that documentary we watched, meaning I miss you desperately. But the feelings didn't fade. They intensified. Work days dragged, waiting for evenings when we could at least sit near each other on the couch during family TV time, feet touching beneath a shared blanket. My job at the design agency was thriving, promotions discussed, projects I genuinely loved. Liam excelled in school, his portfolio winning regional awards. Our parents were proud, planning a grand celebration dinner for his 21st birthday. Restaurant booked, extended family invited. I helped choose cake flavors, decorations. But inside, turmoil churned. Every smile for photos felt forced. Birthday night arrived. Fancy Italian restaurant, white tablecloths, candlelight flickering. Aunts, uncles, cousins, the table long and lively. Toast to Liam, Thomas emotional about his son growing up. Mom gushing about how Liam was like a brother to me. The words stung like salt in a wound. Dinner was delicious: pasta, salad, tiramisu, wine for adults. Liam and I sipped slowly, conversation flowing around us about work stories, vacation plans, funny childhood memories. But beneath the table, Liam's foot found mine. Gentle pressure. My heart raced. I pulled away quickly. After dessert, gifts opened. New drawing tablet from our parents. Art books from me. He hugged everyone, genuine thank yous. His hug for me came last, proper and quick, but his hands lingered on my back a second too long. Mom noticed, laughed. You two are so sweet, like real siblings. Finally, the drive home. Tension in front, singing along to the radio. Liam and I in back, hands hidden between us, fingers intertwined. Risky but irresistible. That night, our parents asleep early from wine. Liam texted, "Come over." I slipped to his room. Door closed, immediate embrace, warm, desperate from the day's restraint. Under the covers, closeness intense, full of everything unsaid. Whispered fears. What if someone finds out? What then? He held me tighter. We'll figure it out. I can't lose you. Morning brought the familiar return to normalcy. But the seed of confrontation had been planted. Weeks later, another family dinner. Casual at home, Mom's lasagna table set, wine poured. Light conversation until Thomas asked Liam about dating. Any special girl in your life yet? Liam froze, glanced at me. I choked on my water. Mom laughed. He's shy like his dad was. But Thomas pressed gently. Time to bring someone home. Liam set down his fork. Actually, there is someone. The room quieted. Mom leaned forward, excited. Ooh, tell us. Liam looked at me, then at our parents. It's complicated. His voice trembled. I panicked, kicked his shin beneath the table. Stop. But he continued. I've been seeing someone for months. Someone close. Our parents exchanged confused looks. Thomas, a friend of Sophie's. Liam shook his head, eyes locked on mine. It's Sophie. Silence crashed over us like a wave. Mom's wine glass slipped, spilling red across the tablecloth. Thomas's face drained of color. What do you mean? His voice was dangerously low. Liam explained. Started after that night I came to his room. Grew from there. Feelings real deep. I sat frozen, tears beginning to fall. Mom sobbed. My daughter and my stepson. How long? Thomas demanded, anger rising. This is wrong, he continued. You're like brother and sister. Argument erupted, voices raised, accusations flying. Words like betrayal and lies thrown like weapons. What about family? Liam defended us. We're not blood, we love each other. I finally found my voice. It's true. I'm sorry we hid it. Mom left the table sobbing. Thomas demanded we stop immediately. The night ended in chaos, doors slammed, no resolution reached. Days after, the house turned cold. Separate meals, avoided eye contact. Our parents talked about separation, therapy. But one conversation changed the trajectory. Part 5, The Reckoning and the Path Forward. Hey everyone, this is the finale. If you've journeyed through all 5 parts with me, thank you from the deepest part of my heart. This story has been the most difficult one I've ever shared, but telling it has brought closure I didn't know I needed. Your comments, kindness, and own stories have carried me through. This is where the secret explodes, the family fractures, and somehow we find a way to rebuild. Grab a tissue if you need one. After Liam's confession at that family dinner, the house became a war zone of silence and slammed doors. Mom couldn't look at me without tears. Thomas's anger was quiet but suffocating. He'd leave the room whenever Liam or I entered. Meals were eaten separately, conversations minimal. Liam and I barely spoke, even privately, guilt and fear too thick in the air. We slept in our own rooms, doors locked, hearts aching. Mom and Thomas had long talks behind closed doors. I overheard fragments. How did we miss this? They're like siblings. What will people think? Therapy was suggested, family counseling. The first session was brutal. Tears, accusations, pain poured out uncontrollably. Mom felt betrayed by both of us. Thomas struggled with losing trust in his son. Liam and I sat side by side, holding hands beneath the table, explaining it started unintentionally, grew from living together, feelings real despite the labels. The counselor helped us communicate boundaries, consequences, future discussed. No easy solutions emerged. Our parents set strict rules. No more closeness. Separate living arrangements if needed. Liam moved to a campus dorm temporarily. I stayed, but the house felt hollow. Months of therapy sessions followed, pain raw and exposed. Mom grieved the perfect family image she'd built. Thomas wrestled with protecting everyone while processing his own hurt. Liam and I met secretly at coffee shops, parks, talking, supporting each other, refusing to let go. Love grew stronger through the storm. The turning point came one night. Mom found me crying in my room, surrounded by old photographs. She sat beside me, held me like she did when I was small. "I'm scared of losing you," she whispered. I sobbed. "I never wanted to hurt you." We talked for hours. My loneliness after Dad left. How Liam filled a void I didn't know existed. How feelings crept up unexpectedly. She shared her own fears about blending families. First real understanding between us. Thomas took longer. One weekend Liam and Thomas went fishing, an old tradition. They came back quieter. Later Thomas pulled me aside. "I see how you look at each other." His eyes glistened. "I hate it, but it's real. Just be careful with hearts." Slowly healing began. Rules loosened. Liam moved back in, but with open doors, no overnight stays. Family dinners resumed. Awkward but genuine effort. Therapy continued, learning communication, practicing forgiveness. A year later, Liam and I moved into an apartment together. Small but ours. Our parents visited, tense at first, but warming. Mom brought housewarming gifts, hugged us both. Thomas helped move furniture, gruff but present. Today, years later, we're married. Quiet courthouse ceremony. Our parents there, tearful but supportive. Children came, 2 little ones with Liam's gray eyes and my wavy auburn hair. Family gatherings are full now. Holidays loud with laughter. Grandchildren running through rooms. Mom and Thomas adore them. Scars have faded to stories we rarely tell. We learned love doesn't always follow rules, but honesty and time can heal even the deepest wounds. Family was redefined, not perfect, but stronger. Thank you for listening. If you're facing complicated feelings or family pain, talk openly, seek help, choose love carefully. This is Sophie, signing off with gratitude. Take care of each other.